Test. I am testing the microphone now to see how the levels are. We're we're testing the microphone again just to see. If you're just now tuning in, we're still waiting on the players. So, giving it another 11 minutes. So you can go ahead and scan forward about 11 minutes if you want to skip all this fantastic music. Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Hello.
Hey,
I have a question. Does the
Slight
syntax-
problem. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
it sounds fine to me.
Yeah, I can't hear anyone.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he cannot actually hear anything that's happening.
Maybe, maybe not.
Can you guys hear me? Type yes if you can hear me.
Yes.
Thanks. Oof. Man, this isn't good. I don't know the first. Well, hang on. First audio input. Check works.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Sometimes I feel like I'm a person who checks the disc.
Well, I never know if it's going in the Discord chat or the Roll20 chat.
Okay, could someone try again?
Alright, so what is your output device in the... Oh, alright, so it's working.
Yeah, I can hear you. How am I sounding?
You've been sounding fine, pretty much.
Okay, great. So I think my guess is that it's 7:04 now. We haven't heard from Darius. We should probably assume that he's not going to be joining us tonight. And go ahead, and if he joins us, cool. If not, we just hope he's feeling okay. Does that work for everyone?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He's also one of the ones who was knocked unconscious. So that's kind of an easy out for us.
Just as a heads up before we start, about 90 minutes from now, I'm going to have to duck out briefly for dinner, but I shouldn't be more than 10, 15 minutes absent.
All right, sounds great. Just, I guess, make a mention in the Discord chat. That would be awesome. Cool. All right, so does anyone want to recap? I know it's been a few weeks and kind of a crazy few weeks, so if anyone happens to have a pretty good understanding of what happened previously so that they can give a kind of a synopsis, that would be awesome.
Alright, so...
Somebody set us up the bomb.
Yes.
Yes. Going through my notes, we talked with the clones, and the clones are living in a bunker. And basically everyone has been assuming that since we were shot at, we have a negative opinion of the state. My exact notes say, in all caps, we got shot at, and that would send smart people running for the hill. The conversation with the clones set off coup alarms in either mine or Kaban's head. I don't really know which is the mine. We went and contacted the Nemoidian in charge, and a walking bomb was sent to try and blow us up. We captured the bomb without it blowing up, and used the parts from the bomb to locate missing explosives in the droid racks, which led to us finding out that they were stolen. We then followed the trail to its end, where there were some jump droids, and we almost died. We all almost died.
All right, and that's more or less how we left it off, with you all kind of catching your breath after the robot battle. And I think we forgot to roll cool or discipline, I think, for cool presence or discipline to get your strain back after that. And I think Kaban definitely needed it. But I think everyone had a little bit of stress after that battle.
Well, apparently I was fine.
Yeah,
Or Marcus was fine.
I rolled discipline, but I got 3 advantages.
Okay. So yeah, I think Kaban and Marcus were the only ones up. So currently, Kazan and Asif are unconscious and looking pretty bad. Well, actually, Asif, how many critical injuries do you have? Just the one?
Let me just see. I am going into the critical injuries. I have 2.
2. All right. So yeah, Asif is looking pretty bad, and I'm gonna check on Kazan. But yeah, so the 2 of you that are conscious, what are you doing?
Comically hoping to revive the Toydarian and Kazan.
Yeah, I don't have any stims or anything to actually help somebody be revived.
Yes, Gand also does not actually have things that would be super useful in this situation.
Now would be a good time to. Now would be a good time to for us to roll Destiny. Hang on a second.
You could just be like, Alvin just says, please, Asif, wait.
Is the Destiny pool cleared?
Hang on a second. For some reason, it's not letting me clear it. Just gonna zero it out manually. All right. So yeah, go ahead and see what happens when you roll Destiny. Oh wow! It just took a while, and then did it all at once. All right, not bad. So forward light side, no dark side to speak of, but you might want to use one of those light side points to alter a fact about what happened last session.
So I would like to flip a light side to have a what would be an actual useful thing that
Just say you actually brought in a med kit.
Yeah, that's it. It's we've got a med kit.
All right, great. So, what does that do?
It gives you medicine at train, and you can declare to have around, I think, 1 to 3 stim packs per session.
Yeah, the most important thing is there is at least 1 stim pack in there.
Okay.
Just 1, so who do you save? The top moral.
I mean, it's not a
Presumably
moral
we
choice.
can do the medicine checks first, and then if one of them needs it more, the stim pack.
Gand is pleased that Marcus is volunteering to do medicine checks.
Marcus is every role on the ship now. So who should I do it on first? Who's the first test subject?
Gand would say that the one who is looking worst off, which is to say, Asa.
All right. Let me know when you've got the difficulty set for Asif. I think it's based on how many critical injuries they have.
Yeah, give me just a second. If anyone happens to have their rulebook open to that, let me know. But I'm getting into that right now.
It's actually a wound threshold. I think it's a hard check. When they're at 0, light half wounds, 2, lightly wounded 1. Do that to get rid of criticals. You have to correspond to the chart. I think I have both of them are at the 2 difficulty range.
2 difficulty?
Should be, but it's not showing it on my sheet because I think the internet is broken due to the.
Yeah, the internet's been stressed lately, so I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see, open with. You know what? Hang on, because I'm going to need this. And equipment. All right. Well, the difficulty is set at 2. If you guys want to upgrade with a force point, and then roll, you're certainly welcome.
I feel like I should, so I will.
Oh.
So now I have to. Hopefully this rolls correctly. Well.
So it's like not a success.
But I can give myself 2 boost dice on the next patient.
This
I
is true.
think I'm criticals for this session.
What was that? Oh, yes, you are.
Let's see. Actually, let's see. So that was just to remove critical injury. It looks like you can also try to do a hard check since the wounds exceed the wound threshold.
Also throw a boost die at that because we have a med kit. We have a med pack.
Oh, the medkit provides a boost die in itself?
Med pack allows the user to perform relatively complicated medical procedures in the field. Automatically grants a boost die on all attempts, and the internal stim storage grants the user the equivalent of 1 stim pack per seat.
Oh, that's just a success and a sorry about that.
And yeah, but so it's still a failure. I just get
An extra boost.
another extra boost die.
Yep. Hang on one second. So I'm reading through it right now. Let's see. Each success on a medicine check normally heals a single wound. So we could say, I mean, because the difficulty on that one was set to remove critical injuries. The difficulty to do just a health check would be actually a hard. So I have it now set for a hard difficulty if you want to try to heal Asif's wounds.
Alright, I'm carrying forward the 2 boosts from the advantages on the previous roll. Is that right?
Let's see. Well, technically speaking, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought,
six.
I thought it took 2 to give yourself a blue die.
No, it's 2 to give the next person who does something, right?
it's 2 to give a specific person. It is 1 to just give whatever the next check is.
Yeah.
So I can take like 5 boost dice with this.
Yes.
Yeah, five boost die forward and 1 boost die from the med pack itself.
Alright, is the difficulty set?
Yes, it is. 3.
What's your intelligence?
4.
Super.
I didn't
Okay, so
spend
I feel
another
like-
destiny.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, so heals up, 4 wounds and removes 1 strain. So yeah, go ahead and describe how you're using the med pack on the Toydarian.
I figure I'm barely looking at the Toydarian. I'm like hovering over the manual for the med kit and like following every step of the instructions. And just the fact that I happen to be working on this person is irrelevant to the task that I've set myself.
All right, so yeah, that's a success for sure.
So he just defends me. I just start getting up, and I'm like, "What the hell happened here? Am I dead?"
And then Marcus pushes you back down so you don't move. It's like, I'm still on step 8. Hold on.
Apply bandages liberally.
Gand is fairly certain that Captain Asif is not dead.
And then he has to
We won't know for sure until I get to the end of the last step. So hold on.
It's an either-or thing where it's like on that flow chart. Is the patient now breathing? No. Defib again.
Yeah, I can definitely see it being one of those situations where it's a little too in depth.
And then there's the HUD easy instructions he accidentally turned to.
And then the back half is just like an IKEA catalog, where it's just really badly drawn pictures.
No. I've finished healing him, but I won't let him get up until I read the end user license agreement so I know to agree to it or not.
Absolutely. All right, so one of the 2 of you that got knocked down is back up. So that leaves Kazan, who is still very badly wounded and unconscious, and Kavan, who is conscious, but it looks like he's banged all to hell.
Does the unconscious one have critical injuries?
Yeah, I believe with him, it's just a simple one. Let me double check, though. Yeah, he got off light with his critical, so it's just staggered. So the difficulty pool is set if you want to go ahead and roll.
Yeah, and I won't use a boost die on this one. Or not, I won't use a destiny point.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just the regular boost that comes with this medkit.
That is not a single success to have.
But that is a lot of advantage to have, which is good because the difficulty is 3 to heal any wounds on Kazan or anyone else you might choose to heal.
Alright, well, let's try to heal some wounds and make him conscious again with, I guess, 7 boost dice.
Yeah.
Let me know when it's set.
Difficulty set at 3. Wow. All right.
Ronere.
So we'll heal him up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So yeah, he sputters and coughs and kind of props himself back up against the wall, looking pretty out of it. But like he's trying to reach out with some sort of unseen sense.
I give his hand a smack so he stays down.
He looks at you and then acquiesces and just kind of lays back.
All right, next up the Gand.
All right. So are you doing a wound check?
Yeah, unless the Gand has
Gand
crits.
has suffered no critical injuries.
So yeah, this will just be for wounds.
Yeah, so I think it's still over the threshold for hard. Let me double check on that because I don't want to screw you
I
guys
have
out.
literally
Is he at half
one hit
or
point.
less?
Half or less is hard? Okay.
No, half or less is like easy.
Oh, that's right. More than the threshold is hard. So, Gand, are you really at 1 out of 15?
Gand survived with exactly one wound remaining, yes.
All right, so
Yeah.
then that makes it a... all right, so do you want to boost it? Or upgrade, rather.
No, because we
Okay.
still have the stim pack in our
Can
back pocket.
Gand provide a boost die by being able to assist the operation
I'm going to...
by being a good patient?
I'm going to say that by being a good patient, you don't add a setback, but there's nothing preventing Asif, for example, for assisting.
Yeah, I'll assist.
All right, there you go. So two boost on this one. Oh wait, 2 boost plus the 1, 2, 3, 4 from Marcus's.
Well,
Last
those recover strain, don't they? When it's just the wound check.
I'm gonna. You don't have to use them that way.
Okay, then I'll just take
Yeah.
2 plus 4
Yes,
is
please
6.
take them forward so I don't so I don't.
We still have a stim pack per scene. You'll be fine.
All right, so difficulty set at 2. So there you go. That should help immensely. 1, 2. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. It's so weak. The interface is a little wonky today. But hey, at least that's 3 wound heals and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strain heals.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we stick him with the stim pack. He can get 5 more wounds back, I believe.
Yes, please give Gand the shot of adrenaline.
And then Gan gets addicted to morphine at the end of the campaign.
No, the campaign continues, but he starts Breaking Bad to feed his habit.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Gand will
He's
just
now taking amphetamines. So he takes like Oxycontin.
Gand will just invent a soft drink and use cocaine in it.
I see no downsides with this plan. All right, so
Although the inevitable patent infringement lawsuit.
all right, so it looks like, with the exception of Kazan, who is still kind of slumped up against the wall, not feeling great. In fact, I'm going to say he loses consciousness again. He's healed. He's not not in danger anymore, but he is not conscious.
So, the battle. The battle is ended. Gand would like to see if Gand cannot find any of those crystals from the bomb droid in any of these droids.
All right, so they're going to be
to give him his dice.
they're going to be 2 different checks. So tell me, are you searching the junk, like the little scrap droids, the ones that were the minion class, or the junk droid? That was the bigger one.
Gand will be searching the droid that he took out the stun setting of his. To say, the big one that did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Because Gand can double that up with also having a good time and seeing if Gand cannot make sure it doesn't come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and do a search roll. Perception, I guess.
Gand will note that Gand is going to add -1 black die to the roll. So if wonkiness happens in the dice roll, that helps.
Okay. Difficulty is set.
Big fan.
All right. Yeah, that was an unfortunate roll.
So the overall this counts as gathering evidence, yes?
I'll allow it. Yeah, I think I allowed it before.
Yeah. So the end result is, thanks to the Gand's forensics investigation kit, is a single threat.
So not a failure, but a threat. What do you want to do with that threat?
Statistic, so can he roll an additional boost die?
Yes. Let's get in the habit of telling the GM before we roll. But yeah, go ahead and roll.
He did. I forgot. Oh. He mentioned it. I forgot to add it.
Okay. Yep. Then go ahead and roll.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. So that's just 2...
So the end result is...
1 advantage.
1 advantage.
I think you just realize we're in a room that is full of things that probably should be a lot more important than just that droid.
So Gand is going to spend that advantage to disable this droid in a simple mechanical fashion, which is to say, like, pull it so that its central drivetrain or some sort of other indication for locomotion does not work, and be able to pass this information on to, well, if we just take this from it, it will not get back up and fight us some more, potentially.
I'll say that due to their junky construction, that's perfectly all right. Normally, you'd need to do some sort of mechanics roll on that, but in this one, we can say because they're so. Have you looked at droids before, like just in general?
Gand has searched piles of discarded droids occasionally.
Yeah, so this one looks like it was made by someone who didn't know really how to make droids properly. And as you're going through it, you kind of notice that there were mistakes that were made. And you even noticed there were like little shorthand notes etched onto them with some sort of precision laser instrument. You can't tell what the shorthand means exactly, but the little messages always seem to show up right around where a really dumb design flaw was made. But you end up removing, I guess we'll say like its lower locomotion engine.
And then it is a different check to search the other set of junk droids?
Yes, I have the difficulty set on them now.
Is that good? Am I still going to be getting help from? Is
Yes,
Gand still
I
going to be getting
assist
help
you.
from?
Yep, so it's ready whenever you are.
Oh, that is a success.
Yeah.
Because I have no way of adding just a flat success that I can see.
I think there is one. We'll figure it out later, though, so we don't interrupt the flow. But yeah, so one success, one advantage. So first of all, I will tell you that yes, there are very small slivers embedded in a portion of the droid's heads, very close to the upper processor, which is the equivalent of the brain on these ones.
So I would like to use the advantage then to determine a pattern of where these would be found and a place to, in future conflicts or in future attempts at salvage, to basically have an area where it's all right, this is where it's likely to be.
Okay, yeah. So more or less, you make a mental note of, all right, it's right at, like, off to the left of the base of the equivalent of the cranium. So, like, 3.5 millimeters to the left of the their equivalent of the spine. And yeah, so you collect a number of slivers of the same shard that was in the gonk bomb or gonk bomb, yeah. So by now you've collected like a small handful of these. If you wanted to try another, what did we say? I think this might be medicine. Not medicine.
Mechanics?
If you're trying to identify a mineral, I don't think it would be mechanics. It would either be lore.
That feels like an education.
Oh, it's education. 100%. It's education.
Yes, the Lek Rot check.
Got to do some titrations.
So,
sometimes the taste of a rot makes a difference.
did you want to try analyzing them again?
Guide.
Did you want to try?
Gand is just in the business of collecting them. If someone else wishes to analyze them, Gand is kind of just looking to create as large of a collection of them as possible before attempting to do anything with them.
Okay.
I will assist on the education test.
Oh, were you going to try and analyze them now?
Gand will not, but Gand will happily help if someone else wishes to, by which I mean Marcus.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to analyze them, I've got the difficulty set. Oh, I
remove a black die from knowledge checks as a heads up.
Okay, thank you. Oh, shit. Hang on. for some reason, like, some of these commands are taking a while to get there. So yeah, go ahead and whenever you're ready.
And somebody's assisting, right? So I got a boost die. Correct.
I believe I heard yes, there was an assist.
Well,
Any idea what you want to do with all that advantage? For the listeners, that was not a success. There were 4 advantage rolled.
Yeah, it was 4 advantage. I don't know, maybe something about not specifically identifying it, but knowing, like, being able to recognize it if I see it again, kind of a thing.
Do you want to maybe say, ooh, hang on a second. We could do some other stuff with the advantage rather than just continually giving advantages or boost dice. Do you have?
He knows what it is. He can't pull it out of his head right now until he sees it, like in larger quantities, or he sees like a sign that declares what that mineral is.
Yeah.
Or like
I
we
know what this
find
is.
a
I would see it if I see it again. I'll know what this is, but it's,
Because he skipped the class on identifying his basic chemical compounds when playing System Shock 2. So once
look,
he sees
in the
the RA
classroom you get a
like,
spectrometer.
oh!
I don't have a spectrometer. What do you want from me?
All right. So how about this? If you get a sizable quantity of it, as in like you have to use both hands to hold it all, you can automatically identify it. If you have smaller quantities, the next time you try and identify it, you upgrade your check. And then if you try again with a slightly larger quantity than you have now, with the proper equipment, then that's 2 upgrades. Does that sound acceptable?
Yeah.
So yeah, make a note of that, please. So after that little flurry of activity, you now find yourselves sitting in the hallway of the command sphere, and it's eerily quiet. There is low to no atmosphere in here. The only real sound right now is the oxygen filtering in and out through your rebreathers.
So, what's in this room where they have a bunch of kill droids inside?
Are you asking for the layout of the room?
Oh, I'm asking the rest of the party.
Alright.
One of open question. They be hiding.
Gand will take some time to take in this entire room. Gand's gonna go searching because we're in the hallway outside the we're in the command bulb.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in a hallway in the command bulb.
Yeah, so if you're looking at the kind of the image, yeah, you'd be like close to the edge of the sphere where it meets the rest of the space station, and again, kind of more on the side to what did I say this was? Coreward? Yeah, Coreward. It's back in the direction of Carbontown. So yeah, you're very close. You're in a corridor that looks like it's just leading into it. But again, the bulb is massive. And it does look like it's sectioned into 2 different hemispheres. The one coreward, which is apparently the organics from Carbontown side, and the one rimward, which is occupied by the battle droids. You can kind of faintly hear movement coming from over in the direction of the battle droids section, but the Carbontown section is eerily quiet.
Gand has theories. Gand has theories and ideas.
Does Gan have tactical goggles, like night vision goggles? 'Cause I'm assuming
Gand
it's
is
low
wearing
light.
scanner goggles, yes. Gand is wearing scanner goggles. Gand also has a pair of electro binoculars, if the captain would like them.
Sure, I would like to see in the dark, and I do not want to be carrying all these glow sticks.
So yeah, it's a pair of electro binoculars. They magnify up to 10 kilometers and remove a setback die due to long range or low light. Gand would like to sneak over to where there is sound coming from the droid half of the hemisphere.
So you start moving in the direction of the very, very faint noises that you can hear, and you find yourself coming to a large blast door that apparently has been welded shut.
And Gand can hear the sounds on the other side of the blast door.
Yeah, it sounds like metal clomping noises.
Must be very loud.
I mean, it's pretty loud. This thing wasn't exactly built. The interior wasn't exactly built to keep out sound. But yeah, whatever it is, it's loud and for you, faint.
Gand believes we should search this. We should search this side of the sphere for a route to the bridge. Can Gand recall if during our approach the bridge appeared to be active?
It would be hard to say, but I'm not going to say no. Let's see. What can I have you roll? What do you think you should roll for that? To have noticed that.
Gand would like to roll vigilance.
How do you figure vigilance would factor into remembering if a bridge was active while you were engaged in a dogfight?
Well, after the dogfight, we were approaching the station to land, and during that time period, Gand was trying to take in details of the station that Gand had accidentally just killed two of its members.
So, saying vigilance represents how fastidious a character is in preparing for unexpected crises. It sounds more like you're suggesting perception.
Gand could also roll perception.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the difficulty, but I'm going to add a few setbacks just for environmental circumstances, as well as the fact that this is kind of... You're trying to remember this after the fact. So the difficulty is set.
So Gand has the talent Keen Eye, which removes a setback die per
Okay.
rank of Keen Eyed. Does that apply? That applies in this situation?
If you're removing a rank of, or a setback per rank of keen eye in perception checks, yes, it does. How many
Gand
ranks do you
wants to
have?
be sure. Gand only has one at the moment.
Okay, so it's
Gand will be applying that. Gand will be applying that from Gand's side.
okay, gotcha. So
So just leave the difficulty as you planned it.
okay, yep, ready whenever you are. All right, so that is no success, but 3 advantage. You can recall information associated with the object noticed. With so honestly, I'd say you could use 2 advantage to notice the thing that you're trying to remember.
Gand would like to be unsure, but Gand would like to be unsure, but have an opinion on whether or not the bridge was active during our approach.
So are you saying that you want to think probably, but not necessarily, it was active?
Well, Karmic Knight does not know if Karmic Knight should say if he should think it was active or not. But whichever way Gand thinks it is, Gand is pretty sure, and thus will act as if he is entirely sure.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Gand is pretty sure that there were some lights active on one of the sides. Actually, let's say this: there were definitely lights active on the command center, but you can't recall now exactly which side it was because things were
At the time, Gand had no context for this, so
Yeah.
Gand did not file that information. So yes, so Gand's plan is that we should head to the bridge and see what happens from there. Opinions?
Gand's solution is that either we will find the problem or the problem will find us, but either way.
Is that what everyone agrees on?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right, so and I apologize because I want to make sure. Are you planning on continuing on the Carbontown side, or were you going to try and get into the Synthberg side of the control center?
Unless the captain or Marcus have other opinions, Gand was just going to take the path of least resistance and just keep walking towards the bridge on the Carbontown side.
To adventure.
All right, so you're continuing along through these really kind of haunting hallways. The only sound really you're hearing now as you're continuing further away from the Synthberg side of the ship really are your own footfalls. As you go, you pass a number of doorways. Are you going to search as you go? Or are you going to just kind of make a beeline for what you assume to be the bridge?
I suggest we search as we go, see what all the rooms are full of.
Let's just do a base search check as you go. The difficulty is set due to the flickering lights that most of the rooms have as you look through them. I am adding a setback die for anyone who doesn't have low light or special senses.
What about tactical gear?
Yeah, so that would I would say that would count as special senses or low light. So scanner goggles would remove that. Tell you what, I'm going to set the difficulty. Anyone who doesn't have the ability to see well in the dark, add a setback to their pool.
And it's perception.
All right, so Asif has one advantage.
I don't even know what I'm looking for. All I know is I'm opening up doors, noticing there's stuff inside, and then closing it.
Yeah, so Asif, you're going through, kind of opening doors, peeking in, more or less seeing nothing. You find a bunch of rooms that appear to have been long looted for whatever useful materials the Carbontown people might have run across.
They've been looting the ship?
Let's say requisitioning for other areas.
Recycling.
Spreading the wealth or redistributing the wealth of.
We know who's responsible then. It's Carbontown that's trying to destroy everything.
So Marcus, you we'll say the threat. You open one of the doors. You go through several rooms that are empty, appear to be like maintenance closets or whatever. You open one that gives you a bit of a scare. As you open the door, there's a rush as the atmosphere seems to be sucked past you. The atmosphere in the ship is so light that it doesn't do much. It just pulls you forward like maybe about half a foot. But you catch yourself. There appears to be a large room with a hole in the hull. Must have been damaged during the last fight the battleship was on. But the good news is that this room is not empty. There's a lot of equipment that is just kind of floating around.
One
So
of you doesn't breathe, right? Why don't you check out this room?
No. You guys all have rebreathers. It's fine. The threat though comes from that initial shock that your body has of, oh no, I'm about to be sucked out into space. So give yourself two strain for that little shock.
Alright.
But you do now have a large room that has just kind of cabinets floating lightly. It's a low gravity, 0 to low gravity room.
Wait, Gand has a utility belt.
Still gonna call the Gandover to look.
Does Mark to try and wrangle some of these cabinets over here?
It's not a sudden decompression, guys. You can just walk in and walk.
Like, I'm not the person who goes around calling themselves the Finesman, so I'll the Finesman define thing.
So Gand is going to go out into the room. How are these cabinets, like the cabinets that are just sort of floating in the room, how easy are they to maneuver?
Well, it's 0 gravity, so they're incredibly easy to, well, almost 0 gravity. They're very easy to maneuver. Most of them are floating maybe like half a foot off the ground. So they're nearly weightless. You can pretty easily maneuver them into an area that has slightly more gravity.
Then Gand shall do that.
All right. So you move the cabinets over. I'm guessing you're searching them, correct?
Gand is going to we're going to collect the cabinets. Then Gand is going to look through the cabinets.
All right. So you don't need to roll anything because this is pretty obvious. The books or the cabinets appear to be storage units for data used in data slates or data pads, whatever Star Wars calls them. So essentially, it's an electronic library. All of the sections are full, except one section is completely empty of data chips. The good news is that the data chips are marked. The bad news is that it uses the Star Wars equivalent of the Dewey Decimal System. So
Gand knows that Marcus graduated college.
It seems to be is that life doesn't like that.
So yeah, it's going to be an education roll if you want to use the your knowledge of the Dewey Decimal System to recall or to see what section has been ransacked.
The job that Mark prepared his whole life for.
What was that? You're kind of breaking up.
Said it's the job that Marcus has prepared his whole life for. Let me know when the difficulty set.
Difficulty is set.
And I remove a setback and die on off.
All right. So
That's a lot of success.
yeah, that is 5 successes. So yeah, you definitely recognize all of the. A lot of the other sections are like ship maintenance or just like minor military or various military procedures. But the one that is completely ransacked is the droid construction and manufacturing library.
They took the whole library and that was the best droid they could make? Gee.
Yeah, some places do not even consider funding the library.
So yeah, Gand's with these maintenance and military manuals that are on data cards.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut off a little bit at the beginning. What were you doing with them?
Gand would like to fill Gand's boots. Gand would like to just Gand, once Marcus has explained that, yes, these are ship maintenance and military procedure, Gand is interested in these.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a better owner's manual for our ship than what we got. So Marcus probably get in on the looting as well.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Yeah, just go ahead and give me a perception check. Anyone who's looting it. Yeah, so I'm going to say Cabin does find an unmarked data chip. You're not sure what it does. It's in an It's just outside the last section of the data chip catalog. So you're not sure what it really is, but you found a mystery data chip. Go ahead and add that to your inventory.
100% Gand is.
Don't encumber it, scan.
Encumbrance 0.
Do I get anything for having a success on that?
Oh, did you have a success? Yeah, so Marcus, perception-wise, you find a chip that is also unmarked. But you're fairly certain it's for ship maintenance. Specifically freighter ships, let's put it that way. And
Marcus probably got the data card that Marcus was looking for. Gand found a mystery box.
There was
Oh
a line
god,
in
he
a
found a
movie
loot
like
box,
that.
guys.
I remember some line in a movie where somebody says, if you go looking for something, the odds of finding that thing among so many other things in the world are really low. But if you just go looking, your odds of finding something are really high.
accurate. Let me make a real quick note of this. All right, so Gand got the mystery data chip. And then Marcus found the data chip for freighter repair and maintenance. All right, but that is pretty much it for this room. You see like a few other odds and ends, like a desk and some office supplies. Like there's some loose leaf paper that's just kind of drifting around. You see a stapler, hole punch, that sort of thing.
Can you set the difficulty for the original room-to-room perception check?
Let me double check because I think it was just 2.
It was 2 and an unknown number of setback die.
Yeah, it was 1 setback die if you couldn't see well in the dark, and you would add that on your end. But the difficulty is set now for just 2 purple.
Gand is going to roll his room-to-room perception check then.
All right, so 2 successes. Let's see. So going into the next room. Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. There's a chart for this.
There should always be a table.
Can't remember what the name of it was. Ah, here we go. Okay, so the real quick too, let's go ahead and have, I think Marcus, you succeeded your perception check, so please roll 1d100.
he hide a lightsaber if he gets injured?
100 isn't bad. But you rolled an 86. So you find a comlink in that room that you'd been searching.
Oh boy, another combo.
Hey, you never know. You do have a new crew member, by the way. All right, so yeah, the battle droid that's being rebuilt right now. All right, so Kaban, please roll a 1d100 for your room.
I hope this is the table that's got the death sticks on it.
Oh, yeah, you find nothing. But your success. So you enter into a room that appears to be a storage room. It looks like it's been pretty well picked over, but there is a box in one corner of the room.
Fortune favors the bold. Gant's to try and see what's in that box.
All right, give me just a second. All right, so the first thing that you find as you open the box is you notice that there is a bundle of forced impacts. That is what really stands out the most upon opening this.
Oh yeah, injectables.
The next thing you find is a field medic's guide, which is essentially a manual or a field guide for medicine.
Ah,
Then, let's see.
Dan has a second field manual.
What was it? And these lists are so basic in the core rulebook.
Oh, you're using the core rulebook one.
Yeah. You find 2 emergency repair patches. So that is what you find in this room. As you walked through the room, however, you noticed that there was that the shelves were rather large, as if they were built to store large amounts of heavy parts.
So this was a pretty big time.
Yeah, the storeroom was large, very large, and it has been picked over very well.
Does it seem like these shelving units for parts could potentially be some of the fundamental parts that went into creating the junk droids?
Give me a let's do mechanics roll. Unless you think you can think of one that's better.
I mean, Gand would prefer to use Streetwise, but Gand can also see that just being no.
Yeah, maybe if you had time to ask around on the streets.
Or is Skullduggery that, like... Streetwise and Skullduggery, which one is the, I'm gonna think like a criminal?
I feel like that would be Streetwise. I don't know how that would.
Oh yes, no. I'm agreeing that like mechanics is the better check in this situation, but for future reference, when it's like, Gand is trying to put together the pieces of the clue. I was wondering which one I should push towards.
Um,
So that Gand can be the
Yeah.
most hard-boiled detective.
I can see Streetwise because the description of Streetwise is if a character is looking for a merchant who specializes in unsavory or illicit services, character's instinct for how to pick up subtle cues from language and attitudes, or when dealing with criminals or underworld elements, knowing how to approach them, that sort of thing. So yeah, thinking like a criminal, I think, would be under Streetwise. But yeah, the mechanics check, if you want to roll for that to kind of get a sense, and I'm adding a setback to that for.
Gand has no way of getting rid of that setback.
Yeah. So, ready whenever you are.
Unfortunately, Gand's mercenary field manual does not help Gand. Gand cannot find appropriate aphorism for if you're gonna cobble together junk droids in his field manual.
All right. So, I'm using the threat mechanically to say you're not certain of it.
This is not Gand's element.
Yeah.
Gand is certain of nothing.
And that actually comes from the setback die, too. So, we'll say that due to the fact that really not the fact that it's not your element, but more the fact that these shelves have been long emptied, and there are no labels anymore. So your best guess says this could have stored large numbers of droid parts.
So yes, Gand is going to go ahead and fill his backpack loading. He's going to fill his utility belt, his backpack, and his load-bearing gear with the stim packs, the various items.
All right. Yeah. So you are loaded up now. All right. So does anyone else want to do anything or continue onward?
Well, I think I'm good. How about Gan, the hard-boiled detective, or Marcus?
I'm thinking I'm good.
So yeah, you continue on your way, having found a fair amount of stuff through the doors that you have opened and the rooms you have searched. Every now and then, there's another door that you might be able to open, but again, it leads to just a small empty closet. This area appears to have been thoroughly picked over long ago. And after a while, you come to a large set of blast doors, which are closed.
Closed but not welded.
Yes, this is correct.
Gand is going to figure out. Gand would like to know what resources we have to get to open a locked door.
Well, it looks like it's a mechanical lock with a physical element to it. The physical element looks like it's been...
Roll skullduggery.
Yeah, skullduggery would be for the physical, or what computers would be for the electronic. So let me know which one you're trying.
And we'll present it to the group. We can attempt to pick the lock, or we can attempt to pick the lock via other means.
Well, I actually have computers. I don't know about anybody having skullduggery.
Gand just rolls 3 green dice at skullduggery.
Mark is going to both. He gets to push buttons and hope that it works.
All right, so the difficulty is set with a setback die for the age and disrepair of the computer panel, but have at it.
Hey.
All right, so 1 success, 1 advantage. That is a success. What do you want to do with the... Oh, 2 success, 1 advantage. What do you want to do with the advantage?
Can I use it to find additional information about the system, like what's supposed to be behind the door, what's the purpose of the
Yeah, so...
sealing or shutting it off, or, brain's not working.
Yeah. So additional information you glean from your success. It looks like it also includes like a very brief maintenance log that includes the last time it was open, a manual lock had been added just to make sure that no unwanted parties slice their way into the room. And the last time it had been opened was, what are we at, about 18 years ago? So not too terribly long after its final battle. So after messing around with the door a little bit, you key in the command for it to open. The door slides open, and you are welcome to the site of a very, very sad and neglected bridge. Real quick, let's hop over to Kazan, who just woke up, and he rolled 2 light side points. So are you wanting me to give you a 4C vision?
That was just my
contribution.
my destiny. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hang on 1 second. Wow, yeah. So
I roll a lot better than that now.
Good pool. All right, so yeah, Kazan, you wake up, your head is throbbing, but it looks like your wounds have been patched up.
Well, I will use 4C and try to intuit where everyone is.
So you see, are you going to use the dark side point?
No, I'll just use the light side one.
So you're just seeing a general look into your future.
Yeah, that was a vague sort of statement, not an actual mechanic.
Gotcha. Okay. So you see yourself wandering around in a very large room with several large computer panels with floor-mounted seats in front of them, and you see yourself wandering kind of aimlessly, occasionally almost bumping into a computer console. And
All right. Oops. We get 2 of those now. Okay, neither of those was white. That's fine. I won't use it. I'm just gonna try to see if there's any signs of what direction people went.
So we can say you remember that before you got into the battle with the junk and scrap droids, the long hallway that stretched in front of you, all the doors had been closed, and you now see that they're all open.
All right. I guess I'll proceed down the hallway, poking my head through each doorway to make sure that there's not anybody in them.
All right. You see just a real quick recap of what everyone else saw. It looks like it's been a little under 2 decades since all of these rooms had been picked clean. There are actually large sections of the interior walls that had been welded apart. So there are several rooms that appear to be 2 rooms combined because an interior wall had been taken down. But other than that, you don't actually. You know what? Roll a quick perception check with one black setback if you don't have any low light vision ability, and the difficulty is 2 purple.
Well, I rolled, but Roll20 doesn't seem to be accepting my input.
The internet is almost shitting its pants right now. So
Roll20 has not been having a good day.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need me to roll in chat?
If you need to roll in chat, you can roll in chat. Or you could just try your command again, because.
Well, I've tried it 3 times.
Discord
I'm
bot.
gonna come in all at once. Just watch.
Yeah, that's true. I'd done that earlier. But yeah, if you wanna Discord bot it, that's perfectly fine too.
All right, hold on. I don't remember how this motherfucker works. Roll. Okay.
Is it under Roll'em? Because it looks like it's exclamation roll YYDDD or whatever.
Yeah, it's the pinned message. The pinned message in Roll'em is the is.
Oh, okay. GB. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so the first one was not a success, but you got an advantage. I'll say you do find something, but it's minor. So give me a roll 1d100.
Oh, it's pocket credits time.
55. Torso destroyed, killed instantly. Shit. Oh wait, wrong one. You find nothing.
Man.
You find.
Am I in BattleTech character creation?
Yeah. So you find a box with nothing in it. But yeah, following the chain of open doors, you eventually find yourself looking at a large blast door that has just been opened, and you hear noises coming from inside it. We can say now you rejoin the rest of the party, fully up to speed just about.
Kazin just sort of like holds a single hand up in greeting.
Yeah, I wave.
Gand is glad to see Kazin.
Just FYI, I put your name down for the end user license agreement on the med kit, so yeah, no refund.
All right, so yeah, you're now currently looking at a large open room, mostly open. It appears that half of the room has been sealed off from the other half by a series of large metal plates that have been welded together. The construction isn't completely crude, but it's not terribly professional. It looks like it was done over time, but not with a lot of skill. But other than that, you now are looking at half of the bridge. There are several large control panels with floor-mounted chairs behind them, as in Kazen's vision. And then there's a... it looks like the command chairs have been bisected. So normally this sort of ship has two. One is on this side. But other than that, the room just looks, or is quiet and looks very poorly neglected. Oh, and one more thing. The transparent steel viewport from the command center has been sealed up with metal plates as well.
Not a cause for concern, guys.
Gand finds it interesting that the carbon half of the command sphere seems abandoned, while the droid half seems to be operational in some respect. Gand would like to see if the consoles turn on.
All right. There is no power in this section of the bridge, but with a mechanics check, you might be able to route some power from. Actually, there's a small amount of power, but it's going to life support. It's not enough for life support to actually function, but with a mechanics check, you can maybe route it from life support to the to a single control panel.
See, that's something Gand's interested in doing, but Gand also understands that everyone else has to breathe.
No one's been breathing. You've been wearing oxygen masks this whole time. Well, they have.
So
Yeah.
the
Life
way
support
the
isn't
way,
actually functional. It's
the
just
way
where
the breath
power's
masks
going.
work is okay. So in that case, Gand would love to attempt to reroute power.
All right, make it happen. Let me set the difficulty.
And would like to assist Mark.
So one setback, two because of the relative age and disrepair of the ship.
Marcus appears to be jumping to make sure that Gand isn't screwing this up, so Marcus will be taking the check mechanically. Gand will be assisting.
All right, so difficulty set whenever you're ready.
So
Well, that's a result.
So 3 failures, but six advantages. Any ideas?
Not off the I had.
So the attempting to reroute the power uncovers some fact about the way the bridge has been split and why there is just a trickle of power to begin with here.
Okay. So a couple things, you glean a couple of things from your time fiddling around trying to route power from life support to the console that you're looking at. Essentially it confirms what I suggested earlier. There's a trickle of power. It is not nearly enough to fully power life support. It's also apparently not enough to power this console. Let's see. I'm trying to see how you would know certain things based on that, based on mechanics. Because that sort of information you would have gotten from the console. All right, I got a plan or an idea. All right, so you do route the power from life support to the console, but it's not enough. Ends up trickling back, but when it trickles back, it turns on some of the emergency lights. In specific, in one corner of the not corner, in one at the edge of the bridge that you're in. And now that area is illuminated, you see there appears to be a section of the floor cut away.
Yeah,
Everyone was stunned into silence.
I'm gonna sense and see if I can sense any life forms that I don't already know about.
What's the range that you're getting from that roll?
Short.
Short. The only life forms you sense are the four of you.
Okay.
I mean,
So we are alive.
No secret droids among you.
What's our sock on?
There goes my Act 3 twist.
Actually, we are all silos. We're the last final five, I think it was called.
Yeah. You're all looking at each other like, wait, you? Huh. So yeah, you're standing on a bridge with practically no power. If you could maybe get some sort of like auxiliary battery backup, you could probably reroute or restore power to a console and glean any sort of information you might need from it. But as it stands now, the only thing that has happened is the emergency lights have come on and illuminated a small section of the room where the floor appears to be welded open.
Is the cutaway? Is the cutaway comparable to the cutaway that led us down this rabbit hole.
Yes.
Gand thinks it's a bad idea, but Gand also thinks that this is probably our best lead. Let's continue to follow this. Let's continue to follow this rabbit hole.
All right. So, yep, you slide down into the section of the floor that has been cut open, and it's kind of like a really deep drop floor that has some cabling running through it, but it also looks like it might have purposes for a technician or a maintenance person to move through it. Hard to say exactly what the original purpose is, but now that you're in here, you find yourself essentially blessed with two different directions.
So, does it look like, based off of a cursory glance, that this could potentially be the transit route that the Bob-omb got to us the first?
Well, anyone that wants to make a perception roll is certainly welcome to. The difficulty is set at 2 purple, 2 setback. The 2 setback are because of the darkness and the age, or I guess how long it's been since anything has been down this way.
Well, one of them is because of the darkness, so Gand removes both of them.
Okay.
Gand, however, does not have a hot hand.
I have several glow rods. Would that potentially negate the darkness?
It certainly could, yeah.
I can also hand in the binoculars that Gan gave me. They're tactical gear, so you can see in the dark.
Oh.
Gand would like to pass a boost die forward with that.
Oh,
Just
well.
the net failure if the Gand cannot find anything, but by the Gand taking up
Damn.
a location.
Alright, well, I'll pass 3 boost dice forward if anybody else rolls, but I ain't got shit.
I think the only one is Asif. It's all on you.
No pressure.
I put 4 boost dice on me. I'll grab the binoculars back. Okay, and then I'm going to say good rolls. Just a Look at that! I said good rolls, and we got a good roll.
I think that's the key.
We got an acceptable roll.
Hey, a success is a success.
It only defaults to unacceptable rolls when you don't say good roll.
So you notice, and it's faint. It's very faint. You notice a set of what appear to be three tracks leading. Man, it's so hard to tell direction down here. Leading in one of the directions that the maintenance tunnel goes.
Oh man, that was negative. Technically speaking, we were finding tracks, which means that was actually -3 setback die from.
Ooh.
Gand is an expert tracker. If Gand knows that Gand is looking for tracks. So, Captain, are we following the tracks?
Yes. Dear God, yes.
All right, so you follow the tracks deeper and deeper and deeper into these tunnels. I guess if someone wants to roll, what would it even be to figure out what direction you seem to be heading? Would that be perception?
Survival. I
Survival.
would guess
Survival? Yeah, if anyone wants to roll
Tell your direction without it.
Yeah, if anyone wants to roll a I've set the difficulty for survival.
Gand can roll survival. Gand needs to double check to make sure that Gand is not forgetting any of the random things Gand gets. No, Gand is rolling survival.
All right. I'm going to say unless you have an idea for the threat, I would say to use it as uncertainty, like you're not positive, but you're pretty sure.
I was gonna say he excitedly says it very loud. We're going this way, and ruining any aspect of surprise we might have had.
That's a possibility too. So yeah, you're from your internal compass. It looks like you're heading back towards the what do you even call that? The circular hull of the ship, I guess.
So
The outer circle.
ring.
Yeah, the outer ring. Let's call it the outer ring. It feels like you're heading towards the outer ring of the ship. So you continue on through the darkness, illuminated by the faint glow of any glow rods that might have been used while searching, and eventually it feels almost like you've gotten back to that outer ring again. That's about how long you've been walking, and then once again you see another hole cut in the. Actually, no. You come to what appears to be a large garbage chute. So you can go up or down.
Can we see the bottom of the garbage chute from where we are?
No. It appears like it goes all the way down.
And with Gan's electro binoculars, they have a magnification of up to 10 kilometers. Is it further down the 10 kilometers?
Yeah, you pretty much see to the bottom. It looks like it's a large and...
Gan was judging distance. It is the bottom of a garbage chute, yes? Just the bottom of a garbage chute?
It appears to be, yes.
Then Gan would like to judge distance based on the magnification Gan had to use to see the bottom.
Shit, I don't know scale.
Just tell us roughly where in the ship you are. Like, are we halfway up? Are we more to the top?
You're about, I'd say right around half. Give or take a little bit.
So, Gan would like to search the garbage chute shaft for any sort of, further tracks, since now we have a different direction we're going.
There are no tracks, it just kind of ends here. More or less, you're at, you're as far as the maintenance tunnel goes. The shaft appears to just end the maintenance tunnel. So the only two directions you can go are either up or down.
And would love to hear some ideas.
We're not landed in bar, so he'd prefer to go up.
Kazin just kind of shrugs and says, I discern no difference between the two, nor do I have the capability to climb.
I can fly.
There are actually handholds on the wall of the garbage chute, if anyone glanced down it.
Are they only going down, or do they go up as well?
They go up as well.
again. Marcus is voting for.
Sorry, you said up?
Yes.
I'm gonna sense again. Same thing, short range.
Short range, again, it's just you guys. But then again, you are slightly actually, know what? You can sense some life forms very faintly upwards and corewards. So in the direction of Carbontown. Ah, shit, no, short. Yeah, you feel them, we'll say you feel them just outside your reach. So you can't really tell how many of them there are. You can just tell there are a few.
No. I'll just say I feel that there are life forms in that direction. And sort of point vaguely. Gesture.
Okay, I'm still looking up.
What does everyone else think?
I'm voting. I automatically win
Oh, you just went up?
at this point.
Okay, yeah, so you just started...
I'm going up now. Nobody is objecting.
Gand has, while everyone is passing, Gand has broken out a small six-sided die with made of animal bone, and Gand is going to roll that.
Kazan is watching, very interested.
Evens are Gand wants to go up, odds are Gand wants to go down. Well,
So Gand is heading down, and was it Marcus who was going up?
Yeah.
I'll go with Marcus.
I'll follow the Gant.
All right, so we're going to split the party here. Gand and Kazan are heading down. Marcus and Asaph are heading up, correct?
Yes.
All right. So we'll go with Marcus and Asaph first. So, and here's what I need from everyone. I apologize. Everyone who can't fly needs to roll an oh, shit. So used to Pathfinder. It is an athletics check. Yeah, so an athletics check.
Well, that's going to be a no from me, Doc.
Well, then a brawn check.
I mean, you can use the athletics untrained. You just roll your.
And the difficulty is just
I
one.
said no because I'm going to horribly.
Okay.
is the difficulty set?
Difficulty set at 1 purple. So does Kazan see the ladder and just goes, "No, there's no way. I'm gonna go all the way down that."
Oh no, I'm just going to fall. That's what I was getting at.
I mean, I'd recommend you. Well, you have to at least roll if you want to even try it.
I rolled about half a
second.
second after you asked me to.
Okay.
But let's roll 20 for you tonight.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's got an advantage. He doesn't die.
So, Marcus, you succeed in keeping your hands on the ladder as you ascend, with Asaph, I guess, fluttering effortlessly next to you.
I guess so.
Alright, so I guess Marcus is dinner right now. So let's instead switch over to Darius and Karmic Knight. So the two probably most force interest. Well, no, that's not right to say either. So the two of you begin descending.
The space wizards.
Yeah, the ones who aren't interested in the academic purposes. So did Cabin succeeded easily? And, oh, there it is. Okay, so we'll just say that those threat are just stress or strain from descending this precarious, very old, very long set of handholds. But you do make it all the way to the bottom, and you find yourself about knee-deep in water in a massive room that is just littered with all kinds of garbage. Where you are currently, it appears to be... actually, yeah, I guess both sides have been throwing down these this particular shaft because there are both organic and inorganic waste materials down here. It doesn't smell great, but you don't think it's poop.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, minor victory.
Does Asif still have the GAN's electro binoculars?
I would have given it back to you.
Alright, because Calbon did take them. Because Calbon is going to use his new position at the bottom of this waste chute to try and see if he can't spot any more of those, those marks that are the doorways cut through bulkhead.
Gotcha, yeah. So let's set the...
Does this technically count as attempting to find tracks?
Honestly, what do you think?
I mean, I'm treating this as trying to find tracks so that we can continue to chase this down, but I could also see the argument that it's not because I'm not, actually looking for tracks in a more traditional sense.
Okay. All right. Then I honestly, I think that technically speaking, you're trying to follow the trail of of your quarry. So you can if you remove the setback dice on your end. Actually, you know what? I'll just remove them. Yeah. So go ahead and roll your. I think it's perception, right?
Perception is what I was planning on rolling, yes.
Yes. So yeah.
Would love to roll vigilance.
I think that it's set for you to search now.
I will help.
All right. So I guess roll
Just
a
a boost die.
boost die.
Yeah, it's just a boost. I'm terrible.
Oops. How did that happen?
And gotta look at the... because it's exclamation mark E.
There we go. All right, so 1 advantage, 1 success, right?
Yeah, 1 advantage, 2 successes.
Oh, all right, great. You originally had a threat, so 1 cancels out the other.
Yeah, so it's 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Yep. All right, so you start kind of scanning the area for any potential paths that whatever has been cutting this might have made, or might have taken rather. And sure enough, there are two clear places you can check. The first one just shows more of the same internal bulkhead. The second one does in fact show a much larger hole. It's probably about 4 feet and about I'd say 3 feet wide, and it's cut into the wall just over the surface of the water.
And which direction is it going? Is it going towards the droids or the carbon life form? Or is it going in a non-partisan direction?
Give me another survival check.
Gand is prepared to roll survival once the difficulty is set.
Set.
Is Kazin going to assist with...
Yes, absolutely. He's terrible at all of this, but he'll keep trying.
Well, Gand is literally in his element right now. Love that I set my push to talk to Alt, and it does not, and it does things. Oh good, I had already rolled it. Perfect.
Great. So one success. It looks like it's heading towards the droids section. So it looks like it's heading spinward.
And then how high up is the one that's just cut into the bulkhead?
What now?
Then you said that there was one that was high, like, because that's the one that's just at the water level. That's the big one at water level.
Yeah, there's only one hole that you really found cut into the wall.
Wasn't there also like a pathway through a bulkhead? You said
No, the path led to the bulkhead. And
all right.
So yeah, this time you just found a singular hole showing up. It's large enough for you to kind of squeeze your way through pretty easily.
Gand is going to send a message to Captain Asif and then also Marcus to let him know that Gand found a continued route.
Understood. That's not good, is it?
We can really quickly cut away to, I don't know when Circle Master is going to be back, but we can cut real quick to Asif getting to the top of the garbage chute. So yeah, you get all the way to the top of the ladder, and you see an opening in the wall next to the handholds.
Interesting. I go through the opening. What's behind there?
So the opening is probably just about large enough for you to flutter through, but as you open it, you hear kind of a tinny robotic humming. Everybody's working for the weekend. Ba 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 ba.
Aha! We have a person that really is trying to sing bad karaoke. So I'm going to try to keep my profile low as possible. I am short, so that does help. But is there anything else in this room other than working for the weekend droid?
Well, so yeah, if as you open the chute and look out, you see the quartermaster droid from earlier. You have such a great voice. Everybody loves your singing. He seems to be giving himself a pep talk.
And does he start to make the sound of like a female droid, complimenting him?
Oh, B378, you're the best.
That's the moment, like, where I just, like, realize I'm gonna just close the chute now.
You did the equivalent of catching him playing with his dolls again.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking of that.
So yeah, you leave him to it.
I'm gonna float down and then notify the rest of the crew. It gets back straight to the quartermaster droid. He's playing with his dolls again. That's sort of you.
So yeah, we'll just kind of say that Marcus is just accompanying you on that. So yeah, the two of you return to the others and find yourselves in the bottom of a very large trash bin.
Yes, I don't have to stand in the water, but I'm just looking at the rest, being like, so, whatever's down here is not as terrifying as up there, so let's get.
So, are you going to head through the hole in the bulkhead?
Gand will do so, yes.
All right. So at this point, I need everyone to roll a oral perception check. And the difficulty is set at 3, with no setback. All right, so Kazan succeeded, but with 3 threat. Cabin did not succeed, but had 2 advantage.
1 advantage. Gander should not have had that boost die.
Okay, gotcha. Going with you first, do you have any ideas for the advantage?
So while Gand is not able to hear whatever is happening, Gand is currently hyper aware of the noises Gand is making, so Gand is minimizing Gand's own auditory profile.
All right, so basically Gand
stepped out of the water and was like, oh no, Gand's boots are wet. That means that Gand is going to be heard. So Gand is now traveling super light step, and Gand is focused entirely on Gand's own the sounds Gand is making. So Gand cannot hear anything else.
Okay, gotcha. I would say that probably explains why you didn't succeed, but mechanically speaking, did you want to do something with that advantage?
Oh, Gand wanted to, in some way, boost up Gand's own stealth abilities. Essentially.
You with 1 advantage, you could boost someone else's.
Yeah, Gand is.
The next person.
Gand is going very slowly, very very steadily. So Gand is going to throw a single boost die forward.
Okay, gotcha. So, Kazan, do you have any ideas for the threat?
I mean, it's looking around, so maybe I miss a critical detail that's not relevant to what the check was about, but could hurt us later.
Okay, yeah, no, I gotcha. All right, so that makes sense. Does anyone want to really quickly catch up Circle Master on what just happened?
Did somebody catch me when I fell?
Nah, you're fine.
You're fine. Yes, you're fine. More importantly, we found the quartermaster droid at the top of the chute, and he was basically playing with his dolls, singing "Working to the Weekend," and then doing a female droid voice and kissing himself. I then just closed the chute and went back down, letting you know we should probably go down with the rest. And the rest were basically looking for adventure.
Yeah, you found yourself at the bottom of
It
the.
sounds like there's an adventure of its own sort up at the top. It's not the one that we were looking for.
It never is. So if you want to real quick roll a perception check, I have the difficulty set.
Me?
Yes. There's a boost die in it if you want to roll that.
I will die. They didn't wait. Roll 20. There we go.
There you go. All right. So no successes, but you got one advantage. Do you want to do anything in particular with that?
I'm not even sure the situation that we're in right now, so
Oh yeah. So you
somebody else should decide.
let me real quick catch up on that too. So when you got to the bottom of the garbage chute, you find yourself in a large room full of junk, both organic and inorganic, and on one of the bulkheads there was a 4 foot tall by about 3 foot wide hole carved into the wall just above the water. So the four of you had crawled through that hole and found yourselves in the start of another corridor, and now you're rolling perception for auditory purposes or audible purposes. So you could either, I would suggest either passing it forward or regaining strain.
I'll just pass.
Okay. All right. So, but it does look like Kazan heard something, and it's faint and it's off in the distance, and it's just loud enough for him to miss something. You hear sort of a robotic chattering.
Sort of an R2 unit?
Sort of exactly that sort of noise off in the distance. It's low and distorted, and it completely distracts you just long enough for your leg to snare on a wire that is hanging at about shin level. All of a sudden you hear a soft tinkling of metal reverberating and continuing down the tunnel. And your eyes kind of snap up to the source of the sound, and it appears there are several large hollow metal cylinders hung on wire that are now jangling against the wall.
That was an alarm.
Surprisingly primitive alarm, given
Well,
droids? Question mark.
A mechanical alarm is far more useful than than anything more complicated than that.
let's see your scanner pick up a tin can on a string.
Yeah, Home Alone tech.
Yeah.
Star Wars has nothing on it.
Gand has one of those. Gand has one of those somewhere. Gand would have to check his bag first.
Oh my god, Home Alone tech. So you just throw like a brick at a stormtrooper, he's really dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean his brain would just be shattered. But
I mean, isn't that how the Ewoks won in Return of the Jedi?
yeah.
Paint can to the face.
Don't fuck with the insurgency. Alright, well, I guess Kazan will sort of freeze and look around to see if anything immediately responds.
Are we pushing forward or are we hunkering down?
I'm gonna sense. Do I get any, anything short range?
Short range? No, not at this point.
Okay.
Well, they set up an alarm and we tripped it. Standing here will only give them more time to do whatever they intend to do.
So you're saying we should charge down the corridor like Han Solo?
Exactly.
Screaming at the top of our lungs, man.
Gand is prepared for this.
You don't have lungs.
That's why he's prepared for this. He can scream
all,
forever.
Cupiditas premium sumes.
It's more of a hollow buzzing.
Oh my god, your scream is a vuvuzela!
No. I reject this.
But yes, so Gand would like to. Gand is after Kazin points Gand in the proper direction. Gand is 100% going to charge towards whoever's alarm we just triggered.
So you're running down the corridor, eh? All right, check. Give me just a minute. I need to make sure that all these lovely tokens are in place. Where was it? Sorry about this, just one sec. What the shit? Huh. This is weird. Sorry, guys. What just happened? Oh, shit. Really?
Oh, wow, you crashed?
Yeah, looks like. Which is really odd.
We win the fight, right?
Oh, wait. No, that makes sense. My main computer crashed.
Computer crashes, that means we win the fight.
Yeah. You win before it even begins.
The only way to win is not to play.
No, you are supposed to play Star Wars.
Where were we? My tokens, maybe? Wow, this is really weird. All my appropriate tokens are... Okay, there we go. That works. If anyone wants to take a brief break, bathroom, water, otherwise, now would probably be a good time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, break
Hello?
time.
We'll say 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, sweet. Is anyone still away? Or is everyone back?
Oh, I think I'm back.
Yes, I am back.
All right, great. So you're all screaming, running down the tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, to better describe this tunnel, the corridor is just littered with trash, all sorts of large amounts of metal scrap that look like they've received too much damage to be structurally intact. Just piles and piles of what appear to be droid corpses, maybe some vulture droids, all sorts of droid parts and unusable machinery. And at the end of this long corridor, through I guess from around a corner, you spot a really strange sight. It appears to be, from this distance, which would be long distance, mechanically speaking, it appears to be a droid wearing a tattered brown robe. It has a large glowing green eye in the center of its head as it sort of walks towards you. It's also accompanied by several of the scrap droids from earlier. There appear to be 3 groups of 2 for these lesser battle droids. So let's go ahead and swap over to that. And give you an idea of... And yes, it does ignite a lightsaber as it begins marching towards you. So, let's clear the initiative.
What color's the lightsaber?
Green.
All right. Force droid is mine.
Man, the arch droid is doing some good work.
Yeah, this one looks like it's a lot better constructed than the others. And it, from where you are now, it appears to be very similar construction to the one you fought earlier with the vibroblade.
Guys, do not get hit with the lightsaber or you will die.
Or someone stop for a minute there, or what? Are we rolling initiative, or what happened?
Yeah, you'd be.
A lightsaber was ignited by somebody.
Yeah, at the very end of the where as far as you can see back from the corridor, a robe-wearing droid stepped out and ignited a lightsaber. You know what? We might be a little premature in rolling initiative, depending on how you want to handle this. So,
Gand certainly don't plan on fighting.
might as well go ahead and.
I'm gonna make a coercion check.
The 2 and 2 is the initiative, unless you're gonna clear out the initiatives.
I already cleared it out. I want to go with these rolls if we do end up getting into combat. Let's see. Where is... Here we go. Oh, shit. Man, the internet's struggling tonight. I guess it's good that it's not just me.
It's everyone.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get ready to reverse a roll. Man, what an exciting world we live in now, guys. How's everyone handling the quarantine?
Technically, I'm an essential worker because I work at finance, so I have to keep going down to downtown Chicago and working all the time. Mainly because I basically, due to the nature of the job, it's basically everything in the tri-state area. For it to function, I need to be there. Or the people in Indiana and Wisconsin will suffer.
Oh.
Well, at least you can sit down in your car and pick up some Giordano's.
Not really. I'm not in the mood for pizza.
I guess it's just one, yeah.
I could murder you for that statement alone. Because I don't get to get in.
I mean, it's like deep dish is one of those things that's only for tourists. Everyone in Chicago just has to thin.
Man, fuck that. That's not true. Having both lived in Chicago and having my best friend live there, eat the shit out of fucking deep dish all the time.
Yeah, except when it's like 1 a.m., you're like, fuck, man, we need to go and I'm not waiting an extra hour for the pizza.
Yeah, but no one orders deep dish at 1 o'clock in the morning. Deep dish is a choice.
Well, maybe you want pizza after you get really liquored up.
Sounds like poor prior planning to me.
Or
Blame
you
past
basically
you.
live by the seat of your pants all the time.
What could be more Star Wars than that?
Yeah, so this next session is going to be a beer run where everything goes wrong.
All right.
All of Star Wars is a beer run where everything goes wrong.
Yeah, I'm getting ideas here, you guys. All right. So
Yes, exactly. It's like Harold and Kumar is the most Star Wars movie.
All right, so
Now I have this mental image now of the party turning to Marcus and saying, "You were in college, don't you have a fake ID?"
And it's McLovin.
oh, so delightful. All right, so I have everything down now. It looks like the only downside is it looks like one PC isn't showing up. Darius, when you rolled, did you roll initiative?
I didn't roll because by the time I went to do it, you said that we weren't doing it.
Okay. Be ready to roll, just in case. All right, so, yeah, the droid just ignites a lightsaber, and you hear a kind of a hollow mechanical voice state, "Who are you? State your presence here."
Hello, traveler.
I'm gonna make a coercion check.
Okay.
What?
Gid would prefer that not, but Gid can
I
not
can try
stop
to charm
Kazin.
him and let him know is that we do not mean any sort of hostilities. This guy has a lightsaber, so do not try to get him on this bad side.
So is
It's not a guy, it's a droid!
Kazin, you're gonna do a coercion check?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, give me just a second to make sure I'm doing the right one, because I think it's discipline for coercion.
Could I do a charm check with Porter? It's the same thing.
No, you cannot do it.
All right, so yeah, coercion. Coercion is discipline. Charm is cool. So for the coercion check, the difficulty is 2 red, 2 purple. Do you want to upgrade that?
2 red, 2 purple?
Yep.
I'll upgrade.
All right. I am going to upgrade as well. Oh, shit. Do we... Okay, we still have the dice pool set. Good. Not dice pool. Destiny pool. All right, so it's going to be 3 red, 1 purple.
All right. I am. I'm gonna use sense to try to get. Oh, I can't get emotional state. That's right. Fucking droids. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to roll.
All right.
I'm gonna say put the thing down before you hurt yourself. Oh, what a terrible roll! Oh my god.
You hear like a series of mechanical whirs coming from the droids. So let's see if Asif can resolve this before it does come to blows. So charm, you're doing that. It is against his cool. So the difficulty on that is 1 red and 1 purple.
Okay then, and does he at least give me 1 boost dice? Because he messed up at coercion.
Oh, do you mean a setback? He gives you a setback die?
Do I get a boost dice from Kazin?
You can take 6 of them from me, thank you.
I was thinking they were happening at the same time, but if you want to kind of like
Okay,
wait to follow up.
That's fine. Oh, it's fine.
I like the idea.
roll
I
it.
like the idea of Kazin opening gambits with like the very condescending response, and that is just the perfect. That's just the perfect in, so that Asif can turn around and seem reasonable.
Yes, the good cop, bad cop thing.
Oops. Shit. Sorry, guys. I fucked up. I had you guys on the wrong page.
That's even worse.
Yeah, sorry. The only difference between the picture and the actual droid is the actual droid has legs. I think a floating droid like that is a little silly, but this whole picture is silly, so...
I mean, the whole concept is silly, so I'm actually going to spend a light side to upgrade, and then
Okay.
up my...
I needed to spend for mine too. Let me see if I still can.
No, you don't need to, because I countered.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right. So, because you're going at the same time, you don't get you don't get the positive effects of Kazan's roll.
Point of order. They're both conversational, so it's impossible for them to be at the same time.
Talk over each other. That happens all the time in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys were basically
Doesn't work in a corporation.
yeah. Unless Asaph definitely says I want to wait until Kazan is done trying to threaten the droid. I think that them going at the same time is better ultimately, because he's not going to be trying to calm down an angry droid. He's going to be trying to charm a droid that's just asking who you are and why you're here.
Talk over me again, and that coercion's going to include you next time.
All right, so
I can't back it up, but you know.
Yes, I know, but guess what? You can't fly.
So the droid, you hear whirring noises from the droid as it processes what both of you have said. And then it lowers its lightsaber, but doesn't deactivate it. State your purpose here.
Gand believes that is a very, very deep question. Gand has been trying to find the truth.
The truth as to why the Maker's friend is dead. Is that what Gand is trying to find?
If that is the truth at the end of this, if that is the truth at the end of this path, then it is the truth that the Gand found. But the Gand has practical concerns about attempts on the Gand's life.
The eye in the center of the droid's head dims a little bit, and then resumes its full illumination. The attacks on the Gand's life, those were necessary to clean the imperfect portions of the ship away. The portions that were against the Maker's friend. Do you align yourself with those people?
Gand is going to need more context, as it sounds like Gand is not entirely certain.
We kind of arrived on this ship like a couple of hours ago, so I think my friend is, we're kind of basically thrown into the deep end of the pool here.
Gand and Gand's companions do not
We're
have...
finding some proper nouns in this conversation rather than just friend. Maker.
My memory banks are incomplete at best, shoddy at worst. I'm afraid there's not much I can tell you other than the plan, which is to eradicate all members of the ship. Since you were not aboard when the Maker's friend was slain, we can offer you this. You wait here while we continue our plan, eradicate all life and destroy all droids up on top of the ship, and then we will give you whatever you please. That is within our power to give you.
Okay, I'm getting the sense that you are referring to the Jedi when you say person who was killed.
I do not understand what you mean.
Okay.
That word does not register in our databanks.
Where did you get the lightsaber from?
He looks down at it, and as he looks down at it, the blade flickers just a little bit. And he looks back up and says, "The Maker gave this to me. This is my most prized possession." anyone that wants to is welcome to make a site-based perception check. With a
Site-based what?
perception,
A site-based perception check, you say?
I say.
I say.
And the difficulty is 2 purple and 1 setback. The setback is due to the minute. The light. Actually, you know what? It's attached to the lightsaber, so difficulty is just set to 2 purple.
Ah. Is the difficulty...
Got it.
Hey.
All right. So real quick, Marcus, do you have any plans for that advantage? Ooh, wait. I know if you don't have one.
Go ahead with your.
All right. Real quick, does anyone else want to roll?
I got 2 and an advantage, so we'll go with what you got.
Yeah, Asif got 2 and an advantage, Kaban got 2, and
Hazen got
Hazen,
1 and 2.
Hazen got 1 and 2 advantages.
All right. So everyone did pretty well on this one. Anyone that wants to can regain strain if they want. Otherwise, yeah. So just tell me if anyone wants to use their one of their advantage narratively.
I will use it there.
Okay. So what you all notice, is that there does appear to be some sort of line heading from the pommel of the lightsaber into the robe. But for Marcus, what he notices is that there's a faint green glow emanating from just underneath the revealed part, or the exposed part under its breastpiece. And the glow is the exact same color as the lightsaber.
Hey, what color were these crystal fragments we've been collecting?
They're actually not colored. They're a little bit too small to really maintain, or sorry, for you to have noticed right off the bat. If you put them under like particular light, then they might show. But you hadn't done that test.
Well, it sounds like that narrative moment when he does that.
So, Gand is going to sort of make sure that Gand has the handful of crystals that we have collected thus far. And Gand is going to wait, as what was the last thing that was said before the perception checks happened?
I think it was the Maker gave this to us. It's our most prized possession.
That was a follow-up Marcus question.
If
Can I make a lore on the lightsaber?
you're
So real quick, yes, on the lore. What exactly were you trying to find out?
If I can see anything recognizable about it or anything that I might have encountered before. But don't let me run over Marcus. Like, let Marcus do his thing.
All right. So Marcus, what were you doing exactly?
well, I was trying to respond verbally to it. If the Maker is who I speculate it is, I don't think the eradication of all beings on this ship would be what the Maker wants.
But the Maker has told us that we are to eradicate all life. especially the clones. At the end of the day, they must perish.
Why the clones, though?
They betrayed the Maker's friend. They are the cause of all of this.
Gand feels like this is some sort of Clone Wars baggage. Gand just needs to figure out exactly how to phrase that so it doesn't sound so callous.
That happened a long time ago. Come on, let it go.
Well, again, I'm going to challenge you on revenge being what the Maker's friend would want from you.
Sorry, I had a really hard time understanding that. What were you saying?
I'm basically referring, I don't think revenge is what the Maker's friend would want from you.
No, we're quite certain. Our programming involves it. The Master made us explicitly. The Maker made us explicitly for that.
But you said your information and all of that is shoddy at best.
Yes. The Maker programmed what was necessary into our databanks.
If you don't mind, would I be able to take a look at those?
Sounds along the lines of us asking if we could have a copy of this, look over this, and
Well,
see if...
I mostly also want to get a look and see if the droid is actually properly functioning, or if it's a little revenge routine, a glitch that can be fixed.
Our programming involves not letting others, especially organics, tamper with our databanks.
Saw that one coming.
Well, could a copy of it be made, transferred to a data slate, and we'd look over it?
We simply do not have time for this. We're preparing for the siege.
It has been many years, and now you say you have no time.
Yes.
Their plan clearly involves the meeting of leadership and the negotiations therein.
I'm trying to be the thing here.
If
Words.
Gand asks if we could delay a part of your plan to give us more time to look at the various things involved.
He seems to be thinking about it.
I at least would be very much interested in examining the lightsaber. I promise to return it. Would do nothing to keep it from you.
Light saber? This word does not appear in my databanks.
I just heard thing he's holding.
Oh, you mean my most precious possession? No, you may not inspect it.
Yes, but it technically has a name, and this person is actually very well versed on what the Maker's best friend was and all of that. So this is along the lines of something he's actually could be able to discuss in details about and give a long lecture.
Would this information bring back the Maker's friend, or would it eradicate all life forms and droids on this ship?
It will help bring back what would be what the Maker's best friend would have wanted.
Technically, it might do the first.
It might bring back the Maker's best friend who was murdered.
If who you speak of is who I believe it to be, there is a chance.
We do not see this as possible. We believe that you are trying to deceive us.
Well, I could give you a 15-minute lecture on the nature of the Force and the phenomenon known as the Force Ghost, but you are saying time is precious, so which would you prefer?
We would prefer to do what we were programmed to do and eliminate all organic life on this spaceship. So he begins advancing. Real quick on Kaizen's lore roll. Did you have a specific question about lightsabers, or just had you run into them before, or?
I've run into lightsabers before. I'm just trying to ID what, any details about the lightsaber that I might, know that would place, what era it's from, that sort of thing. Out of character, I know exactly what it is, but...
Yeah, it's a lightsaber that is pretty, a little bit more recent, definitely from the Clone Wars. It looks like it has been modified. The cord from the pommel is not normal.
Yeah. It's a proto saber now, essentially.
Yeah, and it also looks a little bit shorter than it should be. Not quite like a Shoto, but definitely not quite the full length of a lightsaber. The droids begin to advance. The scrap droids raise their blasters, and they all begin to move in. Because it is 9:50, and we don't really have time for a battle, I think this would be a good place to end it.
Yeah, probably true.
So, as per usual...
We win.
What was that?
I said we could just hand it and say that we win.
I mean... Yeah, sure, why not? You spend a destiny point... we can do that, I don't care.
Well, I think it's more along the lines of, perhaps we can at least talk about this, maybe be along the lines of, okay, let us see the evidence, because in the end, these clones were just like you, programmed, and also not being able to have this sort of free will. All of this, and this is a problem of people constantly not having any sort of free will, being told by others what to do. So we can go that sort of back and forth.
For those of you,
the clones don't have free will.
Yeah, it's been hinted that they got the Order 66 order, and then they shot the Jedi, and then they got really horrible.
But in character, I don't know that our characters would know the clones were built with this list of program codes that they have to execute, and they lack free will. It seems like the kind of thing would more secret knowledge.
Yeah, that would definitely be a really hard lore check. But as it stands, it looks like he's kind of had enough talking. He doesn't look like or sound like he's built to really be a deep thinker. So we'll start next time. I think. Real quick, Darius, would you mind rolling initiative?
I did.
Okay, and what was it?
I'm rolling up to find it.
Actually, hang on a second.
Oh, it was 2 and 2, right?
You guys were doing vigilance earlier?
It was 2 and 2. Yeah, it was 2 and 2.
You guys were doing vigilance earlier. Honestly, at this point, it would be a...
It's the same thing.
Please don't make the Gand try and roll cool.
Yeah, we'll stick with it. So you said 2 and 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 2 and 2. And then real quick... obligation bot. So obligation bot says 43, which would be Asif, Exiled. So you'll have that for the start of next game. So if you want to think about how you might roleplay being a little bit stressed out by that.
Or the fact there's a droid with a lightsaber coming at me. There's a lot of things to be stressed out.
All right, great. So as per usual, 15 experience. Same XP bonuses as always apply. And I wanted to say if tonight was a little dungeon crawly, I apologize. It's been a really weird 3 weeks since we last played. So hopefully next time I'll be a little bit more on my game, and we'll wrap this little adventure up.
No worries. I mean, this is just basically the collapse of Western civilization.
Yeah, things are happening.
Yeah, don't worry, it's Eastern civilization too.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe next week our governor of Georgia will have finally said, no, seriously, everyone stay inside. No.
Kemp only responds
Meanwhile,
to
the National Guard of Illinois starts burning the bodies in the Thompson Center.
Yeah, Kemp only responds to the long dick of fucking Republican business.
Yay!
I'm lucky that the Ohio Republicans are just evil and not also stupid.
I'd like to think that there's some calculated evil going into this, saying, look, if a lot of people die, we're going to have to retrain people, and that's going to take a dip in productivity, so who knows how long that'll take. Long story short, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we at least, I don't know, curtail this soon. But, brighter note, 15 experience points base, plus 5 if you write down how you work towards your character's motivation, and 2 if you took notes. I think that was the
Also,
issue.
is there a better name for the arch droid than the arch droid?
Oh, good question.
No.
Because, that is what he is in my notes now.
The arch droid. So let me be clear. Who is the arch droid?
The arch droid, because it's a combination of droid and would be referencing the droid that has the lightsaber implanted in, that has the lightsaber as part of it.
Okay, yeah. So he is the arch droid. Perfect. All right, good deal. Thanks a lot, everyone, for playing. I hope you have a good week next week, and God willing, we'll see you Sunday. Yeah.
Stay safe.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.